Hi, third grade. Okay, welcome to Distributive Property of Multiplication, Part 2. All right, yesterday we started talking about what the distributive property means, and today we're going to keep working on it, okay? We said when you distribute something, you spread it out, okay? If I distribute your spelling test, I'm passing it out, okay? We are going to distribute a number, meaning we're going to break it into chunks. We're going to separate it into two smaller chunks that equal the whole, okay? So if you're in my class, you need your mu. If you're in Miss Albert's class, you just need a scrap piece of paper. If you're in my class and you don't know where your mu is, just a scrap piece of paper because you're going to be just writing down some problems here. Okay, so here's an array. Doesn't it look beautiful? It's like a stained glass window. And if I asked you to name this array, I know you would all be able to name the array. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 times 7. Now, if you don't know what 4 times 7 is, we could break it into pieces. We could either break the 4 into pieces. We would break it this way. Or we could break the 7 into pieces. So let's do it both ways together, okay? And you're going to write your facts down on your board. Okay. If I break the 7 into pieces, I could break it a couple different ways. I could break 7 into 2 and 5. I could break the 7 into 3 and 4. This would be 4 and 3, so that would be the same thing. I could break it into 1 and 6, but that's not really going to help me because 6 times 7 is a tricky fact. So I like to break it into 2s and 5s, 7s into 2s and 5s, because I know my 2s and I know my 5s. Okay, so all I did was, now you would just draw a line if you were working in your math book, but I just scooched them over. So right now, I'm showing how I just scooched them over. I separated this factor 7. I distributed that factor 7. So I have 4 times 2 plus 5, right? I still have my 4 rows, and I have 2 here and I have 5 there. So 4 times 7 is equal to 4 times 2 plus 4 times 5. 4 times 2 plus 4 times 5, right? 4 times 7 is equal to, what's 4 times 2? 8 plus, what's 4 times 5? 20. You do that in your head? 4 times 7 is equal to 28. Perfect. So I distributed my 7 on that one. I broke my 7. I chunked my 7 into 2 pieces, okay? A 2 and a 5. I could have chunked it into a 3 and a 4 if I wanted to. Okay. Now, since we said we could do either factor, you ready? Now, let's put these back together. Here's my 4 times 7. Instead of doing the 7, let's break apart the 4. Okay? So I'm going to break apart the 4. I'm going to divide it into 2 and 2. Because that's easy. I know my doubles facts. Okay, I'm going to divide it into 2 and 2. Zoop. Okay? So now I'm saying 4 times 7 is equal to, what's this one? 2 times 7 plus, what's this one? 2 times 7. 4 times 7 is equal to 2 times 7 plus 2 times 7. So 4 times 7 is equal to 14 plus 14. So 4 times 7 is equal to 28. See that? Okay. So now we're going to work in our math book. You're going to be drawing the line. But what I want to show you, actually, could you turn to page 210? You worked at the top of page 210 yesterday. So let's look at the bottom of 210 today. Okay? It says, write one way to break apart the array and then find the product. So you could choose many different ways. I'm going to do one way with you. Let's see. This array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this array is 5 times what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 times 8. I know my 5s really well. So I'm going to break the 8. I'm going to break the 8. And you can decide how you want to break the 8. Let's break the 8 into 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's break the 8 right here. 5 and 3. Okay, let's break it right here. So 5 times 8 is going to be equal to 5 times 5. This first array, this array is 5 times 5. 5 times 5. I'm going to put that in parentheses. Plus, what's the second array? 5 times 3. Oops. Okay. All right. 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 5 times 3 is 15. 25 plus 15 is, so this would be, I can write that down too, but my finger is, all right, 5 times 8 is equal to 25 plus 15. So 5 times 8 is going to be equal to, what's 25 plus 15? 40. Now, you could have broken it a different way. We just did this way together, but there's more than one answer, right? You could have broken it into 4 and 4, so 5 times 4 plus 5 times 4. You could have broken it by the 5. You could have broken the 5 factor. I think it's easier to break the 8 factor because that's the table I don't know as well. Okay, let's look at number 3. What is this array? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this array is 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 times 7. Now, I usually choose my factor. We just did this one. So I usually choose my factor on the table that I don't know as well. And 7s are harder than 4s. But a 4 is just double a 2. So I'm actually going to show this one that we just did with my, I'm going to break it here. So I'm going to break the first factor. So I'm going to have 2 times 7, 2 times 7, plus, that does not look like a 7, sorry, oh my goodness, plus 2 times 7. I should probably use the box in here, sorry. Okay, so 4 times 7 is equal to 2 times 7 plus 2 times 7. Well, 2 times 7 is 14. Oh my goodness, sorry everybody. 14 plus 14. 14 plus 14 is 28. Oh my goodness, yours is going to look so much better than mine. Okay, but there are other ways that you could have broken it apart. There's not one right answer for this. All right, let's flip the page, and this page we're going to do. Actually, number 4 you're going to do all on your own. It says shade tiles to make an array that shows a fact with 7, 8, or 9 as a factor. Okay, so this is 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 by 9. You don't have to use all of them, but you have to have at least 7, 8, or 9 either as your first factor or your second factor. And then you're going to explain how you found the product. Okay? So that one, since that one's wide open, you all could choose different facts. So I'm going to leave that one alone and just check. We'll check your work. Number 5. Robin says, I can find 8 times 7 by multiplying 3 times 7 and doubling it. Does her statement make sense? Okay, so which factor did they change? Look, 8 times 7, and then it is 3 times 7 doubled. So it would be 2 times 3 times 7, right? 2, 3 times 7s. Does that make sense? They kept the 7 factor, right? So the factor that they changed is the 3. Is 3 doubled 8? No, 3 doubled would be 6, right? So if I double 3 times 7, I'm finding the answer to 6 times 7, not 8 times 7. What number would I need to have here in order for this sentence to make sense? I need to have 4, right? I need to have 4 because 4 doubled would be 8. Okay, so what could we say here? Robin says I can find 8 times 7 by multiplying 3. No. Robin's apostrophe S answer, because the answer belongs to Robin, does not make sense. if she doubled 3 times 7, it would equal 6 times 7, right? Because if you double it, it would equal 6 times 7, not 8 times 7. Okay? All right, if you need to press pause to finish writing, you can. But I'm going to move on. Actually, I'm going to go to the next page. If Kent buys 5 bags of potatoes that cost $7 each, he gives the clerk $40. How much change should Kent receive? Is this a one-step problem? Is this a two-step problem? It is. Okay, first we need to find out how much money he owes. Kent buys 5 bags of potatoes that cost $7 each. So that fact, I'm going to type it because I think maybe you can now read it better if I type it. That fact, to find out how much money Kent owes, would be 5 times 7, right? Or $7, which we could do 5 times 7. 5 times 7 is equal to 35, right? So he would owe $35. If he gives the clerk $40, how much change does he get back? What operation are we going to have to do? Are we combining the $40 and the $35, or are we comparing them? We're going to compare them because we want to know the difference between the $40 that he gives the clerk and the $35 that he owes them, right? So we're going to take $40 and we're going to subtract $35, and we're going to end up with how much change does he get back? 40 minus 35 is $5. He's going to get $5 change. Okay. All right, number 7, last one. For numbers 7a to 7d, choose yes or no to indicate whether the sum or the product is equal to 7 times 5. Okay, so you ready? 7 times 5. 7 plus 3 plus 2. Okay, so remember, we always do our parentheses first. So this would be 5. Let me write that down. 7, this would be 7 plus 5. Is 7 plus 5 going to give me the same answer as 7 times 5? No. 7 plus 5 is 12. 7 times 5 is, we just did it up here, 5 times 7. We did the commutative is 35. So that would be no. Now look at this one. 7 times 3 plus 2. Look, they distributed 5 into 3 and 2. So 7 times 3 plus 2 would be 5. So does 7 times 3 plus 2 equal 7 times 5? Yes. All they did was distribute that 5 into 3 plus 2. 5 times 4 plus 5 times 3. Okay, so now ready? Can you see which factor they kept? They kept the 7. So they distributed the 7. Did they distribute the 7 if you have a 4 and a 3? Yes. So that would be the same. Okay, you ready? 7 times 2 plus 7 times 5. So they kept the 7. So the factor that they distributed would be a 5. Is 2 and 5 equal to 5? No. So that would be a no. So what's tricky about that one is that you had to see which factor they distributed and which factor they kept the same. Because the distributive property, you're choosing one factor to distribute and to break into chunks. Okay, for today on your own, you are going to do the homework page, which is page 213, and post a picture of your homework page. Okay, so just do 213. If you need extra help, we'll post the bunny, the Think Central bunny, you can do the personal trainer, because this is a tricky concept. So if you think you might need a little extra, we'll post that Think Central as well. Okie doke. All right, have a great day.